And so you just have me today. I'm going to try to make it a um, quick episode. So today I'll just talk about Monday night and Thursday night football. Um, New NFL power rankings also released this week, and an overlook of the NCAA football schedule. So yeah, sorry we didn't record the other night. I was tired, Dad was tired, so we just went to bed with the record. So I'm gonna get onto ESPN here and overlook what happened. I am not the smartest when it comes to the NCAA football, but I will try my best. Also, a quick little side note: the WNBA playoffs are upon us. The other night, the Indiana Fever beat, can't remember who they beat, but they beat someone to go on to the semifinals, which I believe it goes for, um, I believe for the WNBA it goes to like the first round, the semifinals, then the finals. So yeah, Thursday night football, Monday night football was the doubleheader between the Buccaneers and Texans, and the Chargers and Raiders. I believe those were playing during the last. Uh, well, for some reason, whatever ad was on ESPN started blasting in my ears. But anyways, the Buccaneers played the Texans and the Chargers played the Raiders. The Buccaneers beat the Texans 20-19. I saw where Baker Mayfield had some really good plays, some really risky plays. But it looks like Baker, he had, I'm going to pull up the box score here. Baker was 25 for 38, 215 yards, average of 5.7 yards carry, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a QBR of 60.5 and a rating of 98. CJ Stroud was 13 of 24, 207 yards, 8.6 yards a carry, like on average, 1 touchdown and a rating of 97. The difference here is rushing, it looks like. All three guys who ran the ball for Tampa Bay, each of them had their longest run was 10 yards or above. Bucky Irving had 10 yards. Rashad White had 16. Baker also had 16. Baker ran for 33 yards, Rashad for 65, and then Bucky Irving for 71. Not much rushing from the Texans. They only had 84. Nick Chubb only had 43 yards and a touchdown. His longest was 25. CJ Stroud ran for 27 yards, and then Woody Marks ran for 14 yards. And on the receiving side, again, it was closer, but Tampa Bay was better between both teams receiving the ball. 215 yards receiving, Houston 207. If you can hear a hum, that is the fan above me. It was really hot in this room this morning, so I have the fan going full blast, so please excuse that if you hear any buzzing or anything in the background. The leader for receiving for Tampa was Mike Evans. He had 56 yards, 5 receptions on 11 targets. His longest reception was 22 yards. Leader in receiving for Houston was Nico Collins. He had 52 yards, average of 17 yards per catch. Baker did fumble, but Rashad White recovered it that Tampa Bay will sneak out the victory 20-19 over the Houston Texans. And then the Chargers will beat the Raiders 20-9. Another good game by Justin Herbert. He's been playing really well this season, and the Chargers might run away with the AFC West. Justin Herbert had 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, average of 9 yards, had a rating of 122. Geno Smith, on the other hand, a good game whatsoever. 180 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, had a QBR of 19.4 and a rating of 37. Not much rushing from either team. But the Chargers are looking like a team that'll mainly use their receivers, but they can be sneaky with rushing. They had 81 yards rushing. Justin Herbert leading with 31 yards rushing. Najee Harris with 28, then Omari and Hampton with 24. On the other side, 68 yards rushing for the Raiders. Ashton Jeanty having 43, and then Geno with 20. Receiving wise, the Chargers had 242 yards receiving. Quentin Johnston had 71 yards receiving, and then Keenan Allen at 61 yards receiving, both with a touchdown. Quentin Johnston having an average of 23 yards per reception. Herbert fumbled the ball twice, one was recovered and the other was lost. So the Chargers move on to 2-0, and then the Raiders are 1-1, tied with the Broncos in second for the AFC West, and then last place being the 0-2 Chiefs. Going on to week 3 here. Monday night, the Bills played the Dolphins. Dolphins moved on to 0-3. I'm hearing a lot of people think that Mike McDaniel might be out within the following weeks. Great game by the Bills overall. James Cook has been playing really well the first 3 weeks of the season. I think Dolphins might have to hit the rebuild soon. I don't know though, because Tua hasn't been the best. He hasn't been the same with concussions. Tyreek Hill, as we said a couple episodes ago, is getting more and more frustrated each and every week. So it looks like Tua had 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception with a rating of 81. And then Josh Allen had 213 yards passing, had 3 touchdowns and a QBR of 63.7 and a rating of 134. The Bills beat the Dolphins rushing wise and receiving wise. Von Achane led the Dolphins in rushing with 62 yards. James Cook led the Bills in rushing with 108 yards. Miami receiving, Miami had 146 yards, Buffalo 213 yards. Dalton Kincaid led the Bills in receiving with 66. Tyreek Hill led the Dolphins in receiving with 49. Josh Allen fumbled the ball, recovered it, and then Brandon Codrington also fumbled the ball and recovered it. Tua also fumbled the ball and recovered it. But the Bills beat the Dolphins 21-31 just last night. So a quick little rundown for the NFL schedule, and new NFL power rankings also released. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up right here before I look at this. NFL Power Rankings Week 3 here on NFL.com. Back over here to the schedule. Packers play the Browns. Um, I think we all know who's winning that. Green Bay is the favorite by 7.5 on ESPN Bet. The Colts play the Titans. I'm a Titans fan, and I could see us going either way. Of course, it all depends on Daniel Jones. Some people think the insanity might end for him. Um, Game Ward has been playing decent because the O line on the Titans is pretty much abysmal. I think they're starting to get that back together. Of course, Brian Callahan has not been the best coaching. I just didn't like that they got rid of Vrabel a couple years ago. Um, Bengals play the Vikings. Jake Browning, who knows what he's gonna do. So I think it might not be the best for the Bengals for the next 3 months. Apparently, turf toe is a really serious injury, um, which I didn't know. Apparently, you can't really bend your big toe with that. The Steelers play the Patriots in Foxborough. I think that'll be a fun game to watch. Pittsburgh the favorite by 1.5. The Rams play the Eagles again. Another fun one to probably look out for. The Eagles. I don't know how this one. They haven't been as dominant as they were last year. They've had two close games, one with the Cowboys and the Chiefs, which is a little interesting in my opinion. I thought the Eagles would have done better against the Chiefs and the Cowboys. But I don't know. The Rams, I think they can sneak that one out if they play really well. Jets play the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are probably going to win that one. Justin Fields is hurt with a concussion. I believe Tyrod Taylor is the starter for New York. Um, Raiders play the Commanders. So at Maryland, at where the Commanders play. Um, that'll be a fun one to watch as well. Um, I believe that Jaden Daniels is hurt for that one. Falcons play the Panthers. Falcons should walk out of there just fine. Bryce Young with 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the year. Texans play the Jags. This might be a little recovery for the Texans. Um, Trevor Lawrence, very identical to Bryce Young. Bryce Young only has a few more passing yards, but Trevor Lawrence also has 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Broncos play the Chargers. I think the Chargers, by how they've been playing, might take that. Might take another win and start the year off 3-0. Saints play the Seahawks. Seahawks are the favorite by a touchdown. Bears play the Cowboys. This might be another fun one if the Bears play like how they've played. Not the Bears, the Cowboys. If the Cowboys play like how they've played, they'll do really good. Cardinals play the 49ers. Everyone's biggest what if is Mac Jones in the I can't Kyle Shanahan system. And then Chiefs fans, you are probably having a big sigh of relief as you play the Unlimited Giants this year. I mean this week. Monday Night Football, a great way to cap off the week, in my opinion. A potential Super Bowl matchup between the Lions and Ravens. Um, that we'll probably later on in the year, like week 17 or so, look back at this game. That'll be a fun one. Tickets are not cheap to go to that one. Um, so yeah, that's the next score for the that was the next like schedule rundown for the NFL. Next on my sheet is power rankings, and then I'll look over the NCAA football schedule, and then I'll be done for this morning. Um, so on to the NFL power rankings. Number one, they haven't moved. The Philadelphia Eagles. I wasn't expecting them to still be at number one when they released these new power rankings on Tuesday. I was not expecting that. I thought maybe the Chargers or someone else would be there. But the Bills are still number two. I don't think the top three has changed. Yeah, it's still Bills, Ravens. I think the Ravens dropped out. I didn't check the week two power rankings. Buffalo two, Baltimore three. Last time we checked these was week one, post Micah trade and all that. So Green Bay moved up to rank four. Micah Parsons has still been playing well. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now five. Baker Mayfield's been doing really good. The names that are really sticking out on here is the rushing room for the Buccaneers between Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, and Rachaad White. However, they have a right tackle, Luke. I'm not going to even try to say it, Godecki. He has a foot injury, it looks like. And their defensive tackle, Kalija Cansey, has a pec injury. Six is Detroit. Detroit went up two from week two. And they did not hold back on Ben Johnson in the on Sunday. 52 points. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, the receiving room, did amazing. I saw where Amon-Ra had himself a day. Good bounce back for them. The Rams are now seventh after beating my Titans. The names that are sticking out are Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, but Kyren Williams appears to have been having some trouble. But Blake Corum, the Michigan leader in rushing, I believe. He has the all-time rushing leader stat for Michigan. He's been getting some extra reps and has done well. Of course, when you're playing for your old college coach, you're going to do well. So you have that trust and chemistry. The Rams have allowed only one touchdown in 8 quarters. So, and if Stafford plays, the Rams are looking like a team to watch out for. The Commanders have dropped down a rank, down to 8th. Jaden Daniels' availability is up in the air. So Marcus Mariota is right now the starter for the Commanders when they play whoever they play next. I believe it was the Raiders, I think. I don't know. Terry McLaurin needs to get going according here on the NFL. Somehow the Chargers are ninth in the power rankings. They've went up 4 positions. In my opinion, the Chargers have been a top 5 team in the NFL. Justin Herbert and Quentin Johnson have been doing amazingly well. Oh, that's probably why their biggest what if, Khalil Mack's elbow. Yeah, it's not good when you lose your top guy, one of your top defensive roles like that. 10 is the Denver Broncos, coming off a loss to Indianapolis. So they don't know how they feel with Denver. And thank God the Chiefs are out of the top 10. I'm just glad to see that, but they will get a bounce back. Xavier Worthy is set to return within the next few weeks. They still got, including this week, they got 4 more games of no Rashee Rice. I don't know why they wore those shirts. Let's not do that. The Giants is who the Chiefs play. Patrick Mahomes has been doing a lot. The Colts are up to 12th. San Francisco's 13th, Seahawks 14th, and then the 15th is the Falcons. So those are top 15 teams in the NFL. Let's see here. We are in week 4 for college football. I have this on the top 25. So a fun game. Texas Tech, Utah are playing each other. And then UAB plays Tennessee. Tennessee didn't move anywhere, but Tennessee will do well. New learning for Joey Aguilar, Oregon State, Kent State, Florida State, Auburn, Oklahoma. That'll be a fun one to watch in the SEC. Michigan, Nebraska. We talked about that one in the last episode. Purdue, Notre Dame. game day is gonna be at Miami, Florida, Miami, Florida. Um, I think Miami might walk out with this one. They've been playing amazingly well. Florida has not been playing amazingly well. On the other hand, Indiana, Illinois, um, Michigan State, USC, but USC is the favorite to do really good in that game. Um, so, has any games happened? I can't tell. So, that was all of that. You know what? I probably have some time. How long have I been going for? I've been only going for 20 minutes. So we're gonna check out the WNBA playoffs right now, because let's do it. Um, so the Aces beat the Storm. Is there a way to see the playoff bracket? Here it is, WNBA playoffs. No bracket. Interesting. So the scores, I am a Indiana Fever fan. I jumped that hype train when they selected Caitlin. So the Fever beat the Atlanta Dream. Yes, the Atlanta Dream was a. I remember early in the season, people were talking about the Atlanta Dream. They signed Brittany Griner in the offseason, and people and the Atlanta Dream finished 30 and 14. I think they were near the bottom last year, but they were a favorite to win the WNBA Cup. But the Fever beat them, 87-85. I'm really proud to be a Fever fan because these girls have shown a ton of grit this offseason. Um, I'm sure it ain't easy when Caitlin's getting beat up each and every night in, night out. Caitlin's fighting injuries. She had like the same groin injury like 3 times this year. Her left groin was shattering, like was rough all year, and then she bruised her a bone in her ankle, which sat her out for the rest of the year. Not a good sophomore year for Caitlin Clark. The Aces beat the Storm. Aja Wilson is probably the only reason the Aces are relevant. Um, Tonight, though, at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Liberty, who are the defending champs right now, play the Phoenix Mercury. The Liberty are they both have the same record of 27 and 17. Phoenix is the favorite because that game is in Phoenix. On Sunday, that is when the next round of the playoffs start, the WNBA semifinals. The Minnesota Lynx, and I believe, if they haven't announced it yet, but last year, Nafisa Collier, who is arguably the best player in the WNBA, I believe is healthy for the Lynx. The Lynx are best team in the league with 34 and 10. They will play the winner of the Mercury Liberty game tonight. Um, and then the Fever play the Aces. The players to watch according to ESPN have been Aaliyah Boston and Aja Wilson. I've also heard that Kelsey Mitchell has been playing really well. Um, and then the WNBA finals start Friday, October 3rd. Um, so that will be fun. So yes, we're in the semifinals. So it's best out of 5 for the WNBA. Let's check the NBA. Anything new while I'm on here? Luka Doncic has put in a ton of work. As a lot of people have heard, that the Mavericks said they traded him because he can't stay not healthy. He's not conditioned. So what does Luka do? He gets in the gym, and just watching him play in that Eurobasket tournament was crazy. Um, the Clippers situation with Kawhi, that was a big failure by the Clippers. I think all they got was one Western Conference Finals out of it. Uh, they just built all of it around Kawhi and Paul George. When I saw that a couple years ago, the Clippers signing Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, I was like, this team's gonna win 2 in a row at least. Because Kawhi came off that insane Raptors run. Paul George was still Oklahoma City, Paul George at the time. And the Clippers gave up a crap ton of picks and players, one of those players being Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think in that Paul George trade, the Thunder got the team they have now, which won them the finals. Um, and then Trae Young sounded off on Pat Bev yesterday. That was insane. I didn't watch the full video, but I've watched clips, and my Trae Young that was the most calm roast ever. And then I woke up to um a notification from Shams Charania um about Tyler Hero. He was he got hurt. He will miss the first little bit of the season. Josh Giddey with a big signing the other week. Warriors, will they make moves? Who knows? Warriors have been uh Warriors have done nothing this offseason. Have been holding Kaminga out in the air. One breakout player, according to ESPN, is Stephen Castle. I agree with that. Also, a quick little fact: UConn is the um, first school ever to have the NBA and WNBA Rookies of the Year from the same school. So Stephon Castle won the Rookie of the Year for the NBA last year. Paige Beckers won the WNBA Rookie of the year, excuse me, the other day. So I think the Spurs will be a dangerous team to look out for this year. Wemby has locked in, in case some people haven't heard or seen. But Wemby in this one off season has gone to China and did monk training to find peace of mind or whatever. And then he worked with Hakeem Olajuwon and Kevin Garnett. So I wouldn't want to guard a 7 foot like 5 guy because I think he grown from the monk stuff like a 7 foot 5 guy that can move like Hakeem Olajuwon. Um, WWE WrestlePalooza is today. Oh no, Saturday, tomorrow. The first ever ESPN WWE event. Brock Lesnar and John Cena to kick off the show. AJ Lee has returned, so AJ Lee and CM Punk versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. That'll be a fun thing to watch. Watching Brock Lesnar return at SummerSlam was awesome to watch. The Braves played the Tigers, so that'll be fun. I hope we can catch at least one game out of that series. Um, so yeah, I've been on for 30 minutes, so I will also check the MLB. See who all is playing today. Braves play the Tigers. Bryce Elder, so no. Oh, that'll be fun. Charlie Morton is starting for the Tigers. He's playing his former team. Um, some games that stick out to me. Mariners, Astros, same record. Um, both of them are, I think that's tied for the league in that division. However, the Mariners are 36 and 42 on the road, but the Astros are 46 and 32 at home. Um, Not really any big games. Biggest game is probably that Mariners Stros one. Um, so let's see. Is there a way to see the playoff tracker? Any new? They don't want the playoffs out. Okay, we'll see. Wild card. Here we are. So the Yankees are leading the wild card. The Cubs have clinched the playoffs. Pittsburgh, Washington, Colorado. The Angels, the Twins, and the White Sox and the Athletics have all been eliminated from playoff contention. The next group of teams to join that will probably be Atlanta, Miami, and maybe St. Louis. Um, so yeah, the MLB season is dwindling down. The Orioles have also been eliminated. I said that earlier. The Blue Jays currently lead the American League right now, 89 and 64. Detroit is third. New York Yankees second. Okay, over in the National League, the best team in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers, 94 and 59. The Phillies, and the Cubs have all clinched. And the Phillies have already clinched their division. Dodgers are fourth, Padres, then the Mets, who Mets are a very interesting team. And Jamil just to finish sixth in the entire National League. Um, I believe that is it for today. Um, hopefully see you guys on Monday. That's when the next episode is planned. That should be back by there. So yeah, take care. God bless, and that is it for today. Just a quick little 32-minute episode. Bye.